Welcome to Kaks Bar and Podcast, Canada's first podcast bar. What that means is you can come here for food, you can come here for drinks, you can also come here and record a podcast. Come on down, we're located in downtown Calgary, Alberta in the Beltline area. See you soon. And we're rolling. I'm here today with Max Mann. Max is the musician performing after all our live, not all, but the last couple Flames games. And things are going well. We'll have Max on way more. Max, your musical talent skills, they're fucking awesome, dude. Like first of all, did you just how does one even discover they can sing and everything like that? It's like,
I don't even know. Like when I was a teenager, other friends sang, and I always just played guitar or drums or bass or whatever, and it was always I wanted to sing, but I couldn't find my voice at all. Mm-hmm. So I was always trying to imitate other people, and in that way, and then that kind of hid from myself, I guess, a bit.
So you discovered your talent, right?
Essentially, yeah. I learned music a little more in depth on the instruments, and then I could hear what I wanted to get to. But from there, it was just constantly kind of progressing my voice. I'd started singing songs lower key, and then raising the pitch to get higher. And also just, at a certain point, it was just out of necessity. If you wanted to play, to carry your own essentially, and just to forward front bands and stuff like that. Nobody ever wanted to sing, or if you did, you had a singer, but then
I thought everyone would want to sing, because it's the singer's usually the main spot.
Right?
That's the main guy.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I always liked the support role. I always enjoyed it, but
So you're almost like a reluctant frontman.
Kind of, yeah. Reluctant frontman would be a really good.
It's almost like Spider-Man style. You're with great power comes great responsibility, and you're hey, I discovered I can actually sing, and these guys can't. Guess I have to fucking sing now.
Yeah, now I got to sing. Now I'm stuck with the gig every time. Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, your musical choice, the covers you did today. I loved you did the Blink-182 one. I'm a huge punk rock guy, actually.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah,
Me
love
too.
Punk rock.
That's I have a punk band in Calgary called Terrible People.
Okay, we'll plug that. Terrible People.
Terrible People. We got music on Spotify. We've got music on Bandcamp, YouTube, all that stuff.
It'll be all in the show notes there.
Yeah.
I'll get that on the show notes there. What's your favorite Blink-182 album?
Favorite Blink-182 album? I guess Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, just because
okay.
But as far as actual songs go, Blink's a funny one, because I feel I got into them a lot later. I got into punk rock a lot later. I was a metal guy.
Okay, I gotta ask, how old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm older. I'm 75, man. Asian genetics, man. We age differently. I've seen many different things happen in history.
I love it.
No, I'm kidding. I'm 30. I'm 38. I'm 8 years older than you. But no, I love punk rock music. It's just, I don't know what it is about it. I just resonated with it right off the jump. But even when I was 10, I love the sound. I love the rhythm. I love the thing gives me
energy. Right?
Yeah. But carry on here. Blink-182. Take Off Your Pants Off and Jacket. You said was your best album.
I think just more so from the name. I was gonna say I got into punk rock late. Because I was into metal, and I was into all that. It was funny. I was actually chatting with my roommate about this today, what drew us to punk rock in the end, and what brought me there in the end. And for me, it was about a certain level of seriousness that I couldn't get over with the metal sometimes. It was just so serious that
it all comes from a traumatic place.
Yeah,
metal,
and
let's be honest.
I love metal, but it felt hard to embody without just feeling
if you don't have the same emotional experience, then right.
Well,
when you say metal, first of all, I want to list off the bands, because music now is kind of blurred in genres, right? Because are we talking about screamo or
a lot of that. It started with Children of Bodom and stuff, and
I don't even know who that is.
They're Swedish death metal band, right? Okay. All screaming stuff, super fast guitars. It started with really melodic-y stuff, and then it went downhill from there into just the noisiest, grindiest stuff. It was Cannibal Corpse, it was Slayer, it was all the big four, the thrash bands, and then it moved into progressive metal, and that's kind of where my heart still stays with metal.
What's progressive metal?
So it's just metal that progressive music in general usually means that it doesn't necessarily rely on like pop hooks. It might still, but like it keeps progressing, it keeps moving forward. So the song kind of goes on a little journey and doesn't necessarily just hit you with like verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, outro. You know, it's long songs. They're often long. They're often overly complicated, and I just like that as a nerd.
What would Black Flag be categorized then? Because that's
Black
punk.
Flag. That's punk.
But Blink 182 is also punk.
Yeah.
But there's a bit of I mean, the early albums of Blink 182. I remember because I grew up with Blink 182.
Yeah,
I grew up with Cheshire Cat.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, like Dude Ranch and the original Blink 182 album. Like if you listen to like Cheshire Cat to Dude Ranch, like that was garage punk.
Oh, yeah.
But they sifted into almost a humorous kind of poppiness, and then someone started calling them punk pop. But as a fan, I was like, I don't like hearing that because the pop thing feels like a sellout. But then I don't know. But then when you listen to classic like Black Flag, like Henry Rollins just screaming into that, like to me, or early Red Hot Chili Peppers, that's when I was like, well, okay, that's punk, like technically, right? Because you're a punk, you're a punk in an urban setting,
absolutely.
You're a misfit trying to find his way in an urban setting, and then, but then when it dove into Blink, I never knew what to categorize as Blink because I knew that it is punk rock, but at the same time, I mean, what maybe post '80s punk rock is the way I. But but when you say you fell in love with punk, it sounds to me, correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like you're still more dialed into like what you originally fell in love with, what was the Black Flag kind of sounds, right?
I liked it heavy, I liked it aggressive. It just, again, it was the seriousness, the tone. And it wasn't that I didn't like seriousness. Like in Terrible People, I write like fairly insightful lyrics like about myself and like just about like it's dark. It's dark music, but it has like a more fun edge.
Yeah, I wish I heard some of it because I'm going blind now. I just heard your covers. I didn't hear your actual creative music. Stuff. Right?
Yeah. It's choice music. I mean, if I'd known that you love punk, I probably would have rocked one out or two. But I usually keep it fairly poppy for like doing,
because you have to meet a general audience.
Yeah,
that's what we hired you for.
Exactly. And I'm totally cool with that. And I like being able to provide the vibe and like have people enjoy a wide variety of music. And I love a wide variety of music. I mean, I start with Paul Simon and like the Beatles and Cat Stevens, and then move forward into Kings of Leon, Blink 182, Red Hot Chili Peppers, things like that. Like I love all of that stuff.
What about other like genres completely different? Like do you like EDM? Do you like hip hop, rap? Do you like all that?
I listen to a crap ton of rap and hip hop, like so much. Like it's a lot.
Do you have more like rappy beats and stuff? Or?
Yeah, I do. I do like for my solo original music that I've got also on Spotify.
Also on Spotify, people.
Yeah, Max Mann, man with two N's.
So be in the show notes.
Yeah. I kind of go with a little bit of a hip hoppier vibe. I've got a song called Faceless on there that's got like vinyl style, like DJ scratch beats kind of going.
Do you do freestyle rap and stuff too?
I do. I write rap lyrics, but I kind of, I'm a bit of a baby when it comes to the rap stuff that like, I almost feel like I haven't found my voice in rap music yet. Whereas like with every other genre of music, I feel like I can feel like myself and like project myself with the rap. Sometimes I love it personally. I listen to tons, and I feel super white when I'm playing it. Like I really do. Like it just like comes across. Like I'm like I can't find exactly what I want my voice to be like. I mean, I grew up with like Eminem and stuff, but now these days it's all like Danny Brown and like clipping and like just Tyler the Creator.
Do you know Mark Logan? Does that name ring a bell?
Kind of.
So Mark Logan's he's a local. Former pro hockey player turned musician. He's a white rapper. Shout out Mark Logan and C4. He was on the podcast. He opened for oh my god, fuck. The name escapes me right now. It was during Stampede. I believe he opened for Ice Cube, and then he also Jack Harlow. He also opened, Mark Logan was on the pod. He's a white rapper. Yeah. He did a nice little rhyme for us on the one pod. But like I don't know. But what do you mean by you feel like I'm white?
I don't even know. I feel like it's hard to say. I guess like I just haven't found my voice in it yet. Like in a way that like I think sounds like flattering or like that like conveys the message I'm like trying to get across sometimes.
Doesn't feel right.
Yeah, exactly. But like it does though, because I enjoy it. I honestly I think I'm just too in my head about it. I think it's like
so
I
too,
love
man.
it so
I
much
think
that
so
I'm
too.
in my head about it.
Look, I never
and like won't let go of like I'm afraid to rap, you know? I'm afraid to rap.
I haven't heard it yet, and like I just look, we're just in a different age now. It's no different than this sounds kind of weird what I'm about to say, but during Stampede Week, I wear cowboy boots.
Okay, yeah,
if you go historically, your people made my people build railroads during this period.
Exactly.
Yeah, but like I think just go for it, man.
But
Like obviously you're fucking talented as fuck, and like I enjoyed everything. So it's like just why not take a dive into that, you know?
Right. I think you're right. You know, maybe you've expanded my confidence here that I should work on that a little more.
Well, you're confident to do this, so just do that.
Right.
You know?
I mean, I guess just apply the same like fucking energy.
Can you spit out rhymes right now, potentially?
Right now? Yeah. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I could. My brain feels hot still from playing for 2 hours straight. But I don't think I could. I don't think freestyle would be my jam. It would have to be like written and thought out.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's the same energy like I find in punk and hip hop. That's why I listen to them both. Like I back and forth between like emo punk and hip hop a lot. And it's because it's lyrically heavy. It's crushing beats.
I love emo punk.
Yeah, you love emo.
I fucking love emo punk. But I'm not gonna lie, like I find the lyrics like I don't live the lyrics.
Okay, yeah.
But I love the sound and the emotion.
Okay.
Because like I feel that shit. But as far as the actual lyrics go, half the time
sometimes
like
it's cringy.
Well, it's just like, dude, you're whining over a chick over and over and over and over. It's like that's not empowering mindset ever.
No, those ones are hard. I don't listen to those ones as much. Have you heard of a band called?
But I do love them.
But you love it still,
I love it. Like fucking who's can you rattle off some good emo punk bands just for
emo punk? My favorite is Spanish love songs. That's who I've been all over these days.
Is The Used categorized as emo punk?
I don't know. The Used?
Like I love The Used.
The Used is good.
Fucking love it.
I don't know what I would
Love and Death album. Like I still listen to that to this day.
They're
like, I'll be
through
in the
like alternative rock into like punk rock and into like I mean, don't they have some songs that are pretty like crushing heavy too? Like almost borderline metal.
I mean, like Burt McCracken. Like I mean, I haven't kept up to date what he's done since, but you know, like do you know like the Used had that one song fuck what man I can't draw the song off my mind right now.
No worries.
But there's this one lyric where he's like so deep. Oh, wait, what did he say? He was like asleep, I still see you lying next to me, so deep. You know. So anyway, I just like but trust me, it gets really hard after.
Yeah.
But I don't know what to make of that. But I don't know where I'm going with the music's just an amazing thing, right? Like it just makes you feel all sorts of ways.
You feel great, and it's so.
You can't fake what you actually like. Global, that's what I've come to realize.
Yeah.
You can't fake what you actually like. You know, like growing up, if you don't know what you like, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is a great song" or whatever. But I've had times where I grew up, everyone liked one thing, and I pretended to like it because I was a kid, and then I didn't like it because I had nothing to relate to it. But then now at 38, and I re-listen to it, I'm like, oh, now I get it because I didn't have those same experiences to draw those same emotions. That's why music is truly is like I don't know, man. Like I don't know where I'm going. I'm on a rant, but it's a universal language. It's a truth teller.
Yeah, and it's truth telling. That's what I like about it. I love a good confessional. I think that's what I like about emo and like some punk stuff. Sometimes it really is just like people listing off all of the things that they've done or been through.
Mariana's Trench. Fucking love Mariana's Trench.
They're awesome. They're awesome. They kind of go in the pop punk element.
Oh, okay,
I would say. But I like it. I like again, I'm a sucker for pop hooks. Like I love pop music and I like it to be catchy, but I also like it to be heavy, and I like emotionally heavy music. And I got into it way later again, just because like I was just down the metal path. Again, you don't know what you like until you just live long enough to have enough things put in front of you, right? And then like this one band, Spanish Love Songs, really changed a lot of like emo punk for me. It just the lyrics kind of like just they go in tangent and in line with my own life, but also they're just so raw and emotional. The guy's like singing almost perfectly out of tune, like it's weird. Like his voice is breaking up. It always sounds like it's on the very edge of like just totally crapping out on him. but it sounds so real and so
authentic.
That's exactly it. And as their albums progressed, the first album was very much a breakup album. So it's like, oh, woe is me, my gal, she's left me. But it's still a really good album. Then the second album,
most songs really written about that.
Yeah, I know, right? There's a lot. There is a lot. Yeah. But second album goes on, like, must have some kind of depression spirals and things about that. It becomes a very self-loathing and like emotional depression album by their second. And then their third album, Brave Faces Everyone, it's changed again, where he's writing more from the perspective of like we as a collective, like as a generation, and it kind of becomes less woe is me and woe is us, like this shared group of people.
Don't you find hip-hop is really the same thing, just expressed in the form of, like a different beat versus like instruments?
100%. Right? That's how I feel about it. And that's why I list like the two back and forth. Like if you looked at, I don't even know, like we can test it out. We'll open up my Spotify and go to
Kaks Bar and Podcast.
Kaks
Bar
and
on
Podcast
Spotify?
Podcast.
Okay, no way. Thanks, Max.
See, like they got right here, like on my top. Oh, jeez. I don't know how to use a phone, apparently. On my top search here, we've got...
He's working hard for the last few hours there.
My brain feels fried. Yeah. We've got Spanish love songs. We've got this band, Dinosaur Pileup. They're really awesome, punky sounds. But then we've got Juice WRLD over here. We've got some Elliott Smith, so some more like emo folk, I guess. But we've got Drug Church here, which are an amazing post-punk... Post-hardcore. Drug Church.
I've never heard of them.
That's so good.
What a wicked name.
I know, well, right? And that was the thing that pulled me in right away. I was like, Drug Church? Okay, let's hear this.
Yeah.
And then it slapped my ears off. It was so good. And it's like crushingly heavy again, brutal. Like the guy's vocals are kind of like hardcore style more so. And they're called post-hardcore, whatever the hell all that shit is. But it's got poppy hooks, though, on the guitar. The guitars have underlicks, and they have these little earworms that get stuck in your head. But meanwhile, Buddy's just barking over these songs, and they have a pop-punky feel to them. Mm-hmm. So they still really hit and resonate. And, like, his lyrics, Patrick Kindlin from Drug Church, they're all, like, about kind of, like, the scummy underbelly of society and, like, being on the lowest level. Like, these guys are punks in New York, right? Like, they're not making tons of money. Like, they're living in small crappy apartments, just everything is
recreation of the Black Flag era, man.
Right? Like, they're hugely inspired by them, I'm sure. But yeah, dude, you should check them out if you like Black Flag a lot. Yeah, I think you'd probably.
I just there's a side of me that resonates with that struggle. Max, I gotta get to know you a little bit more. Like what where are you born? Like what's going on? Like what's your upbringing here?
Yeah,
it's kind of
born and raised here in Calgary.
Mm-hmm, cool.
Been here for 30 years now. Mm-hmm. I went to Kelowna. I moved there. My dad and stepmom lived over there, so I was kind of like I'd visit over there a lot. And at one point, I tried to move there, but like for like a month, and then I was like, nah, screw it. I'm coming back to Calgary.
Non-summer season.
Yeah, it was during summer. It was like June. It was like June was the month that I lived there.
During the summer.
It was awesome. Yeah. I went out and like I would just go busk for like beer money. I'd just go out and play on the streets and like make my $30 or whatever, and be like, all right, walk the guitar home, go back down the main street there, Bernard or whatever, and then like go hit the bars or whatever, go see some live music of other people's and whatnot. But so yeah, I did that. I've been kind of stuck here in Calgary for like 30 years. I say stuck. I don't mean stuck as I love Calgary. Like I love Calgary as a place. I think it's great.
Have you traveled a bunch?
I haven't. So that's why I say stuck.
That's all right. Like I've traveled a bunch. I never lived in any other places, but like been to Asia, like Europe, this and that. Obviously, everyone, but. I'm born and raised too up in Calgary as well.
Sweet.
And I love it here. There's a different energy here. Maybe I'm just accustomed to it, but we do have a special city.
It's a special city.
It's a big small town, and there's that people are genuinely majority of people are genuinely nice here. Yeah. And when I say nice, it means they're not trying to fuck you,
Yeah, no, they're genuinely kind. Like people hold the door and say, if you hold the door for somebody,
they're
not
looking for something, man.
Basic level human. And then I've visited a couple other places. And sometimes you're like,
it's not like that.
It does not feel like that.
Different mentality, different
everybody
energy.
has this don't like fuck with me, don't enter
Like
my
preserve
space.
myself.
Yeah, exactly,
Like, fuck you
exactly.
before you
Everybody's
fuck
got
me
the
kind of
walls
thing.
up, and in Calgary, I just feel like it's not a big walls up place. I feel like you can go down 17th Ave, or you can go down the Beltline streets, and you'll bump into people you know, and you'll bump into new people, friendly people. They're all around. They're everywhere. I've always loved that vibe here.
Yeah, and like it's still here now. Yes, like times are tough everywhere, but
Yeah.
you know, like that's more of a global phenomenon.
It is.
But what I was really trying to figure out here, like, you know, like putting my little psychologist hat, was because like I come from a very great upbringing.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
my parents love them to death. They're together. Like I had an older brother, older sister. I was the youngest. Like in many ways, maybe I was a little bit spoiled even as a kid. Like
Okay.
I had a really good system growing up. Like I was put in karate to develop my body. I had tutorials to develop my mind. I made sure I had a job early at 14. I got my license early. Like my parents
Nice, you're on
couldn't.
it.
It's almost like a perfect parenting book.
Checklist.
But with all that said, I still gravitate to hardcore sounds and
it's
music, right?
Right.
And then but I have no trauma. I really don't.
Interesting.
But then when I talk, like I was trying to get to know you because I was trying to almost do like some kind of psychological correlation
we
where I
can
was
do
like,
it. We can open this up to therapy session.
yeah, I was like, were you mistreated as a kid? Like, you know, like is that why you like hard music?
It is, honestly.
It is. Okay,
I had a lot of different traumas.
I'm kind of concluding my own theory here. It doesn't really matter though, because if you had a hard time, I had a good time. I think that sound resonates within our inner being.
Yeah.
Like maybe we can get a scientist in here to further dissect our genetics. Like maybe there's post-generational trauma that's in my DNA that I'm not aware of. But but all I know is that the fact that you and I are here now, like trust me, like Chinese people. I take your Irish descent, Scottish.
Okay. One or the other, right?
Like it's like, like trust me,
red hair like this,
every race has had trauma because of war and this and that. So maybe that's just something ingrained in us that you just tap into it, and like the sound just brings something out within us. But I was just really curious because but you already kind of answered my question. You said you do have a lot of trauma.
I have a lot of trauma. I'm actually diagnosed bipolar type 1 rapid cycling.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Can you break that down more?
Yeah, it's a dizzying disease for sure. So like I only got diagnosed like 2 years ago, but
tell me you got medically diagnosed. Okay, it wasn't like your fucking buddy like sick over some beers.
Actual psychiatrist that I still see. I take meds for it every day.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to take meds. They're like antipsychotic medications.
No way.
Literally antipsychotic medication. Yeah.
Shit.
Same pills you take for schizophrenia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But big distinguishing factor is like bipolar is schizophrenia kind of like. My aunt is a schizophrenic, and I have other family members that are turned out schizophrenic as well. So it like runs in my heritage, that like messy mental side. But I still find myself to be like usually a positive enough person. It was just like this all the time, like so up and down, and it was extreme.
So are you talking about like an advanced bipolarism almost?
It was just such a long grind. I was a heavy alcoholic for over a decade.
Max does not drink.
I don't drink anymore. Yeah, I've been over almost a year and a half.
And look, like as a bar owner, it's like me and my business partner, like we're not, we sell alcohol, but we don't want to sell it if you're gonna be a struggle.
If you're gonna be having
like our whole motto is like a celebration, not a medication.
That's a great way to say it. I was using it like a medication. I don't have a trademark,
but that's the sad part. What a lot of people do, and like those people it's like, look, like we'll serve them a couple, but when we can tell this is a crux and whatever, like I don't want that kind of business. Like I'd rather go broke than serve that kind of business because like I want to make the world better, man. Like,
exactly. You're trying to bring light into this world. You can tell with this place, like the way you guys have it all set up and the way you're doing everything is you're bringing light to that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah,
it's not
about a great vibe, and I'm
blottoed and it's not about that. You might happen to have some drinks. It's a great time, but you guys got a good supply of liquor-free beers, and you just shared that wonderful shot with me. That's liquor-free cocktails and stuff that you guys have, booze-free cocktails that taste great.
Yeah, we have a good mocktail selection, so come on down for that.
Yeah. So, I love that. I think that's cool that places are pushing towards that and, like, doing more of that, like a balanced of that.
So, Max, I can really ask you, so back in the day when you said you used to drink, obviously because you have trauma and a psychological condition that's genetic, like obviously this is the one weird part about booze, and you can probably attest. Like when you drink it, you don't feel your pain no more. And but at the same time, it causes you to maybe behave in a way or whatever, right?
Irrationally sometimes.
So is it? So you take the meds now to offset like the bad emotions or like the
exactly. So well, with bipolar, basically what homeostasis, just normal, is just normal. When you're rapid cycling type 1, it means you're characterized by more mania, and mania is basically your brain dumping a bunch of different chemicals that. When you're manic, you feel indestructible. You feel like advanced. You feel like overconfident, like you can just like.
Max is describing cocaine.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically like being on cocaine. No, 100%. That's exactly like. And as a guy who used to do a whole lot of that, yes, that's exactly what it is. It's a straight.
I don't know what that is.
It's a straight. Yeah, me neither. But it's just like that. It really it just speeds you up. But then the inevitable, what goes up must come down. So you get a crash, and then the crash is the depressive episode. So you feel super low and not normal. And when you're rapid cycling, it just means that it's often that the cycle happens. So it was like this for so many years. And booze was the medication.
Were you born like this, or a result of it from like loads of trauma? This is absolutely like a psychology.
I love it. I'm all into the psychology. I'm very open about it, so I got no issues.
Yeah, people can learn from this anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And opening up about mental health is a good thing, I think. Anyways, so but yeah, it's technically something that you could consider born. It's kind of hard because it's kind of a two-way street for conditioning your brain. It's like you can be predisposed, same for schizophrenia, you can be like predisposed to it genetically. So like, okay, an aunt has it, or uncle or whoever has it, so it's in your genetics, so it could be caused, and usually gets brought out by traumas or repetitive bad behaviors. If you're going to be drinking and doing all kinds of drugs and things till whatever wee hours of the morning, going on benders and then sobering up, you're almost chemically training your brain to go on like, all right, 5 days crazy, 5 days in bed, 5 days crazy,
a roller coaster,
5 days in bed, and created a pattern that your brain settles into. So sometimes people get diagnosed a lot later, especially after like a life of abusing alcohol or other drugs and things. The lines get blurry, where it's like, was this genetic, or did you like totally mash your brain up by like just pouring stuff?
I would speculate something in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle, right? That's why I say it's kind of a two-way street.
So did you hit a wall and you're just like, just no booze, done?
Yeah.
Like let's just start with that and then go from there?
The wall was the hospital.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, withdrawals. Archer made a joke about it on that beautiful show, but like, he was saying, I'm afraid to stop drinking because the collective hangover will kill me or whatever. Like, I didn't really realize that like that.
Well, that's for real. A super withdrawal.
Yeah, the withdrawals. Oh my god, I had no freaking
alcohol
idea.
Withdrawals are horrible. Like everyone keeps thinking, like I had my my medical doctor friend. Well, he's in medical school right now.
Yeah.
Bikram Seekon, shout out Bick, but he was on the first official podcast out of the studio here. And go into the archives, you want to watch that one. But he actually indirectly educated me, because we used to drink heavy all the time. Okay. And I would obviously the next morning, I'm the guy like, I'm hungover and I'm trying to eat my way and hydrate my way into feeling better.
That's a smart way to do it, instead of grabbing another bottle.
No, actually, he gave me the proper diagnosis. The actual answer was to take a little swig.
Just a little bit.
Because you have developed, your body is that quickly developed with withdrawal. A hangover is not a withdrawal. People confuse the two.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, when you say you're putting food and water back into you, it's just in that moment, because you need food and water.
It's healthy though.
But that like, you actually need a bit of booze, just a little, because it's all about tapering off slowly, not cold cutting it.
Exactly.
No, but I don't know. There's been the hair of dog is a true actual like cure for.
And it used to be my go-to. Like, I mean, and that was.
No, but you did the right thing, because you're smart enough to realize, you're like, eating a fucking Big Mac doesn't make me feel fucking better. It's like, no, it's because your entire system now. We're not just talking about like absorbing a booze, like your psychological state correlating with that. It's like you just got to ease off. It's like a roller coasters aren't a straight drop.
No,
like they're back
Right?
to
You
the
gotta
like.
coast
It's the same thing. It's coasting. Yeah, there you go.
Coasting.
Great
Yeah,
word.
I was like, wait, yeah. There's the
Yeah.
word.
So there you have it. This is medical advice on the Kaks Bar and Podcast. You know,
But
by the way, we're not doctors.
Yeah, we're not doctors.
Do not
Yeah.
fucking say.
See, for me, the hair of the dog thing was like where it like is where there's like an amount, right? Like a good amount that like would be smart. Like, oh yeah, have one beer. Here's your hangover. One beer. And it used to work. Like I did that as a teenager a lot. But after throwing parties at our house or whatever, the next morning, just like crush one beer with breakfast. Like, you know what? I'm fine. Nap the rest of the afternoon. It's great. And you wake up like again because you've eased yourself off. But then when I started using booze to basically fix anxieties or like using it to slow down my brain when I was manic without knowing, it became the reach for it in the morning, the hangover. Well, I refuse to be hungover. I refuse to feel bad. So start drinking first thing in the morning, but I couldn't stop. I could never just have one drink. It was always one drink, next drink, next drink, next drink, next. And it's always been like that. And I think some people are predisposed to alcoholism in that way and addictive personalities. So that runs in my family too. So I screwed myself with too much of a good thing. That was really what it came down to.
I wouldn't go that hard on yourself. I'm not a doctor, but let's keep it real. Like that region of the world, like Scottish Irish, the alcohol, it might be a genetically trained habit,
100%.
deeply rooted into your DNA. But like, I wouldn't blame that because life is fucking hard, especially when you're in like the droopy, rainy. No vitamin D section of the world.
Yeah,
man.
no
like,
vitamin D.
Shit's hard, man.
World, right?
And like you discover alcohol and it feels great in the moment, and it's next thing you know it, the life's just like, hey, like everything kind of sucks without it. Yeah. But I don't know, because like you're not the first or the last to explain these characteristics. Stemming from, no offense, like your literal apparent genetic
right from
makeup,
right? The core.
It's like no different than like my people. Like we love rice and we'll eat it forever. We ate it to the point where, because every nutritionist is like, white rice makes you fat. I'm like, not for Asian people. Like there's probably some. I'm being serious. Like most people eat the white rice, gets fat. Yeah, but Asian people, like, it's like, I don't know. We did something with it that didn't, like we're talking about thousands of years genetically trained stuff. So
of eating the same thing, your bodies, they evolve. I mean,
I don't know, like, but and then I don't know. It's look, I don't have an answer for everything, but look, I'm not saying step off your sobriety. Like you're smart enough, and also you had such a great relationship with yourself that you made the decision. You're like, this isn't good for me, and but like. And I'm not saying it's unfortunate. I'm just saying it's different. Yeah. Like some people, like if you can't booze, you can't booze. Some people can't take sugar, they can't take sugar. It's like some other people, I don't know. Like it's just like anything, man. Like you just gotta figure out your route in life and then go from there.
The biggest thing for me really was like at the end of the day, like it was like I was able to do it a bit for myself, but like I didn't really care about the idea of like running myself right into the ground. Like I kind of like, and especially when I'd be manic, it was just like, yeah, let's go for it. Let's just drink till we die. Like it was like that. Like just
that one's a bit weird. But,
it was crazy. It was crazy. Like it was self-destructive.
Is that the trauma?
It was self-destructive. I don't even know. But it was self-destructive behavior that would embellish out of it.
I never fucking understood that though, because like just say I just met you right this instant. Yeah. I'm like, handsome guy, plays music, fucking seriously has a talent. Like why do you want to kill yourself?
Right?
Like, I don't get it. Like maybe that's just my logic brain kicking in, because when I've had sad days, it's like for a reason. Like it's directly correlated to like I wanted this, I didn't get it. These are consequences. Of course, I'm sad. Yeah. Like this is what they like the build up to get it back, or fucking let the goal go. But like with you, I'm like I never understood that, because like so many people that appear to have like a great base are the ones that are suffering the most. Yeah. And I that's something that to this day I'm paying very, very close attention to. Are you an MMA fan, by the way?
I actually, my roommate and one of my best buds has gotten me a little bit more into it.
Okay.
So I'm not
I'm
hugely
a
in the know.
fanatic, but this next segment here doesn't like, you don't have to be an MMA fan.
It became very interesting to me. So
Alexander Volkanovski. So he fought for the 155-pound belt, and he's the 145-pound champion.
Okay.
And mind you, like, those aren't the actual sizes. By the time they fight, they're probably 170, 180 pounds.
Yeah.
But Volkanovski, he literally explained, because everyone's like, hey, you just took this fight recently on short notice. You took it on like less than 2 weeks, and usually you need 3-month training camp.
Yeah.
And he went out and fought a guy bigger than him for his belt. Anyway, he lost. He got a head kick. But at the post-fight press conference, he literally said, look, I want to clear the air. Everyone says I jumped in on short notice, underprepared, because usually like 10 days is not enough.
Yeah.
And everyone said I did it for the money. He's like, no, guys. He's like, I'm going to come out and say, for a moment, like he froze and he almost started crying. He's like, I have mental health issues. He's like, I actually feel like killing myself all the time. He's like, I will only not want to do myself in unless I'm busy. And when I say busy, he's like, I need to be, I'm talking about start to finish. From the moment I wake up, I have to have stuff to do that makes a difference. And he's like, what better than preparing for a fight camp?
Right.
And he's like, when you don't keep me busy, he's like, I actually chronically want to kill myself. And everyone's like, I remember listening to that being like, you're Alexander the Great Volkanovski.
Like, yeah, why would you want to
You are the featherweight champion of the world. We're talking about an entire global population of 7 billion people. You're a 0.0000001% top martial artist. And you have learned all sorts of fighting techniques from the dawn of time, translated now. You can fight on the ground, you can fight on the feet, you can fight wrestling, you can fight fucking jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, hand fight. You want to kill yourself like without staying busy. And like when he said that, I sat there because I don't have that problem at all. I'm like I'm a busy guy, but like if I get to chill, I revel in it. But I was sitting there like, holy fuck, like this guy's brain, mind, I can't relate. And like I'm like even more fascinated with people's struggles now because I feel like this podcast is also serving as a like, because I'm the right guy for it. I'm very empathetic and I can listen, and like I just want people to get their message out there. Because if someone like Alexander the Great is telling me about mental health issues, he's at the highest pinnacle of achievement, and you are a great artist and you have mental health issues to the point where you're on meds. Like I'm like what the fuck is going on?
That's literally where the like antipsychotic medication comes in, because to sit there all day hating yourself to the core is psychotic behavior.
But I don't get like,
you're not supposed to sit there hating every second of yourself. That is psychotic. Like it just is.
I
don't think
any logic could break it down, man. Whatever it is, it's and like no one's fixed this.
Yeah,
because like I mean, wasn't like who's that really famous European person who chopped his own ear off?
Van Gogh.
There you go. Right? Like so that guy can make statues, but he hates himself. I don't know.
Van Gogh actually, it's really funny because he's like listed because when I got diagnosed, of course, it was like, here's a bunch of people who are famous that have bipolar disorder, and Van Gogh is one of them. Yeah, a lot. There was a lot. It was quite a list.
Fucking like you're a musician like Kurt Cobain. No, I'm like
they said he was a manic depressive. Jimi Hendrix.
He absolutely was.
He absolutely was because he ended up. Yeah, exactly. He followed through. Right. He got unmedicated. It just shows up. It's so weird. It shows up.
But there's a correlation because like people who are great at music all have this. Not all, many of them have this issue.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Maybe
it's a weird correlation. I've noticed it a lot myself. I've seen it a lot. I mean, even like Van Gogh too. Like he's another redhead as well. Like there's a lot of redheads that we got red hot tempers.
Like I don't even know. Like it's like everyone's like. When I say the redhead thing, like I never understood that. Like it's like what is that supposed to mean? Like are you saying redheads are like an inferior fucking genetic?
Right? I know. Well, sometimes it feels like it.
No, but like I don't understand because like I'm like we're Asian. Like how many fucking Asian stereotype like slanty eyes, like fucking tiny guy, hobbit people or whatever. I made the last one up, but like it's just. But I'm just sitting there like I never understood that because like growing up, when I was in elementary school, like obviously kids are fucking assholes and there's loads of racism and also just like other fucking dumb jokes tossed around, but I never understood the redhead one because I remember even as a kid like the one like I remember a group of fucking kids like fucking digging through memory banks, who you are, they're like, oh, she's red hair, like so we're gonna make fun of her. But I remember even as a kid I was like, that red-haired chick's kind of hot. So I'm like, why is that? Like, why do we choose that's the color? But then shortly after they started making fun of me, and I was like, oh, I get it. It's just general bullying
they're just bored kids. Bored kids like, just pick on shit, you know?
Yeah, so
that's the thing. Like, nobody in my, like, as a kid, even, like, barely got teased for it. I was pretty lucky. Like, I didn't, like, get bullied or anything like that, like, hugely or anything like that. But as an adult, nobody, like, ever, like, treats me differently because of it. Or at least not that I've noticed, which is a very, like, privileged thing to still have.
But when you look in the mirror, are you like, I wish I had a brunette hair? Like,
no,
right?
Like, you know, I kind of feel like, I don't know, I like things bright and colorful. Like, I almost feel like, I mean, this will sound crazy pills right here, but, like, I kind of, like, sometimes think that the universe may already be like a created thing that I've like signed up to be a part of.
Bro,
like, join into.
I was about to fucking say it's like a video game.
Exactly,
you're
like
choosing your character,
and you're choosing your character, and I'm going like, okay, stupid bright red hair. Yes, like just like because I like that kind of stuff.
Oh,
I like
no,
things
like same,
big, bright.
Dude, like I can't believe we both had the same thought process. Like I was like, well, that just shows you that probably is what's it.
That's
you probably
case,
before
right?
you entered your consciousness chose your form, your avatar for this body, which is now Max. You're
Exactly.
probably like, I'm gonna fuck, but you obviously did it in such a way where you're like, I'll be red hair, and as you're going in, you're probably like, wait a minute, I want to be 7 feet tall.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Wait, I don't want to be 7 feet tall.
Too late.
Wait, I don't want to get sunburns. Wait, I wish I could. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you didn't tell me all the girls I like would be making fun of my hair.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Just the carpet match the drapes. Like, yeah. How many times have I heard that?
Oh fuck.
They do.
Yeah. Okay, Max, I am going to wind this down. I promise a quick one here. But I actually love this conversation. We'll probably go for an hour. Like next time we jump on the pod. I'm going to put all Max's musical endeavors all in the show notes there. And come down to Kaks Bar and Podcast. Flames games, home games. We have live musicians. Max has been performing a bunch. I don't know what we have you for the schedule coming up or if you're even on our schedule here. But hey, I'm glad you performed tonight. Fuck yeah. I loved all your covers. And listen to Max's music, and I'm going to dive into everything else you put in the show that you explained earlier. That I'm going to put in the show notes there because I want to hear some of your punk music.
I'm stoked. Yeah, let me know what you think.
Fuck yeah, dude. Oh, I already know it's good. Your music's so good, and they're doing covers. So unless it's absolutely something like completely different, where I'm,
you never know.
Like I don't know, like it's like. I'm almost certain I'm gonna fucking love it. You know,
if you're gonna check one out, check out either like Dead or Something or Stuck. Those are my two favorites.
Dead or Something or Stuck. Okay,
those are a couple of my favorite. Terrible.
I love listening to music and podcasts in the gym, so that'll be what I'll pump next.
Perfect.
It'll either increase my workout or ruin it.
Yeah, one or the other. We'll see. You might start smashing things.
I'll be like, Max, this is what I wanted, but or I'll be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, you never know.
I'm 90.99% sure it's gonna be a fuck yeah. Yeah. Okay, all right, Max. Pleasure, buddy. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Peace out, everyone. Have a good night.